Welcome to Sparrow Vision with your host, Dr. William Sparrow.
Thank you. I am your host, Dr. Sparrow. It's time for another paranormal story. We're going to call this one The Thing. Marcia and Evelyn have been friends for years. And like every other weekend, they would go out and shop and go out, get something to eat, just yard selling, whatever. Just being what friends do, enjoying each other's company. Well, on one of their adventures, they come across this big sign that said estate sale. Now, they've never been to an estate sale before, so they figured, well, let's give it a shot and let's see what it is. They noticed that there was a big crowd of people, and they figured, well, it's got to be something going on to have this many people there. So they're looking around, and they are just amazed at the antiques and beautiful things they have out for sale. And then they come across this object that's sitting on a table all by itself. So pretty. And Evelyn couldn't take her eyes off of it. She walked by and then she always had to come back to it. Then she picked it up and found, just see what it was. And just couldn't figure out how to open it. But there was something inside it. And she's like, well, it's got to be a way to open it. There's something here. She turned it over and she looked underneath. She looked on it. Just no way to open it. So she gave the object to Marcia, and Marcia looked at it. And Marcia, she couldn't figure out how to open it up either. But they're like, there's got to be some way to open it. There's something inside. So they take the object up to the guy who's running the sale. And they're like, this thing is so pretty, but what is it? And he's looking at it. He goes, you know what? I've never seen that before. I don't know what it is. Where'd you find it? They said, on the table over there. He said, well, I put everything on that table, and I don't remember putting this out there. They're like, well, what do you want for it? He said, I don't know. Give me $1. So they did. They gave him $1 for that, and along with the other things that Evelyn bought. And they put the things in the car. Now, as they're driving away, Marcia started getting this funny smell. And it got worse and was making her stomach turn. She asked Evelyn to roll the windows down. And they never really thought about it. There's something in the air, they are out in the country. It could be almost anything. So they figured, well, let's just go get something to eat and finish out our day. When they came back from the restaurant, Evelyn's walking to the car and she let out this gush. There was a poor little bird who was dead on the driver's side. And she figured, well, the bird must have hit the windshield and broke his neck. So she found some paper and picked up the bird and put it out of the way. Didn't think twice about it. Now they're driving home and the smell got worse and worse. And Marcia's like, you know what, I need to go home. So Evelyn took her home. And on the way there, she kept the windows rolled down. And she started to get this feeling that something just wasn't quite right, but she figured it was just the smell is making her sick. She goes home, and the first thing she does, she always calls her little kitty cat. And the kitty cat's always willing to jump up and get some attention, get some food. And as Evelyn is bringing stuff in from the car, the cat changed. It got angry and was hissing and rearing its back up. And Evan's like, I've never seen that before. And the cat got so scared it ran out. And Evan would call for it, but it wasn't coming back. Now, this went on for quite a bit. The smell got worse and worse. And then it was followed by noises. Late at night, she would hear this awful wind because she had to keep her windows open because of the smell. But the wind got colder and colder, and no matter how much fire she put in the fireplace or how many blankets she put on, she couldn't get warm. And she was so cold that even her bones were hurting. She was so cold. And then one night, she heard it again, but this time it was followed by people talking and getting louder. She couldn't make out what they were saying, but they were there. And then the door started slamming and slamming. And she figured it was just because she had the windows open. And then she saw this ghostly figure coming toward her. And all she could do was scream. And she would call for help, but no one would help her. Not even Marcia. Marcia wouldn't even come back over because of the smell. And it got worse and worse, and this went on for days and days, and she thought she was going out of her mind. And all she would do, she had these crying spells, and she was all alone. And one night, it got worse. She couldn't take it anymore. She called Marcia, and she's like, please, I need help. And then the phone would go dead. No more noise or anything. She didn't hear Evelyn, but all she could hear now was a faint hissing noise, and sounded like somebody talking in the background. She would call out to Evelyn, 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 are you there? Evelyn, what's going on? Evelyn, talk to me. But Evelyn didn't answer. The noises just kept blocking out everything. No matter how much she would holler for Evelyn, Evelyn wouldn't answer. She says, well, now I gotta go check on my friend. I don't care about the smell. My friend is in danger. There's something wrong. She's racing over there. And now when she gets there, the front door is open. She goes inside, and she finds Evelyn upstairs in the bed. Her face is all mangled and twisted. Her mouth is open like she was just unnatural. As a matter of fact, that's just the way the coroner described is she was scared to death. And that's what she died from, being scared. Now, at the funeral, Marcia was asking the nephew, what are you going to do with the house and everything? He goes, oh, we're selling everything. We don't want nothing. And she goes, well, you know what? There was this beautiful object that me and Evelyn, we found, and this was our last thing together, and I was going to know if I could have it. And her nephew, I think we gave that away already to Goodwill. It's gone. She goes, you gave it away? He said, yeah, we donated that to Goodwill. It's already gone. Now, I guess the moral of the story is, if you're out going to estate sales, yard sales, or even Goodwill, something catches your eye and you walk away, but it keeps drawing you back. You might want to think twice about picking it up and bringing it into your home. If you still find the urge that where you just have to have it, think about Evelyn. The end. I hope you like that story as much as I like telling it. If you do, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and share it around. If you have a paranormal story, ghost story, please, I'd like to hear about it. You can call me at 765-388-4672. Send me a message. If you don't want to call, that's fine. Send me a message. If you like this story or some of the other stories, I'd like to hear from you. Until next time.